on the season and trying to lock up second place in the National League East. We're in the ninth. It's a one-run ball game. The Pirates leading 3-2.
Ah, boy, quick outs. Come on, get ahead, stay there. Get a fly ball right here. Come on.
One out, one on. Top of the ninth, Pirates lead by one. Ground ball through the right side, base hit. Oquendo around second on his way to third. The throw comes into second base. The Cardinals have the tying run at third and only one out here in the ninth inning.
Come on, get that ground ball right here. Come on. Get that ground ball.
Pitch, fly ball, center field. Van Slyke is there. Tagging is Oquendo. Here comes the throw. The tag at the plate is out, and the ball game is over. A double play to win the ball game. Andy Van Slyke threw it on the fly to home plate. He touchdown Jose Oquendo. The value blocked the plate. He would not allow him to score, and the Pirates have locked up second place in the National League East for 1988.
I feel in my mind that I always have that chance, that slight possibility of coming up with a great play in the outfield. And if you don't think that way, great things will never happen to you. And when the ball was hit to me, I knew it was going to be a tough play because it was a line drive, but I said, let's just go for it. And I caught it, I grabbed it, and I just heave-hoved it, and it happened to go right on top of the plate. And Mike made a great play to complete what ended up being a pretty good play to clinch second place.
The entire organization has something to be proud of. It's just too bad that all the people in the office and everywhere else don't get nice contacts like we do, because everybody's busted for this.
It was an emotional night for manager Jim Leyland. After all, in just 3 short years, he had seen his team climb from the basement of the National League East to contenders. Quite a contrast from 1985, when there was no talk of being in contention, only of a franchise that had hit rock bottom. Not only on the field, but in the hearts of its fans. And with the team up for sale, Pittsburgh was about to lose its Pirates.
I guess it don't sound like much to anybody else, but to go from 756,000 people in the stands a year before we got here to break the all-time record, which I want to take this time to thank the fans, and they've been unbelievable. To just see what's happened here in a short period of time, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's almost overwhelming.
What a remarkable turnaround. The Bucks were back, and the fans loved it. You might say the 1988 Pittsburgh Pirates were proud again.
Historic Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the stars and stripes, the fireworks, all the pomp and circumstance that goes with opening day here at Veterans Stadium.
1988 is underway, and the Bucks start off with a bang by coming from behind to beat the Phillies.
Coles with a drive, deep left field, it's high, it's deep, and it's history. Buccos lead 4-2.
3 days later, it's off to St. Louis and the home opener for the defending National League champions.
Center field, Van Slyke, diving catch, baby!
Once again, the Bucks play spoilers and go on to win 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. Now to Three River Stadium, where an anxious city gets ready to welcome back its Buccos.
The big thing there was the anticipation. It seemed like the winter lasted so long that you just couldn't wait to see how the people were going to react, and then to come in here opening night and have that kind of response. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's almost overwhelming.
With a first pitch from Pittsburgh's own Mr. Rogers that was out of Mike LaVallier's neighborhood, the home season was underway. And if this game was any indication of how the season would go, Pirate fans were in for a pleasant surprise. Well, maybe, but can you say jam? That's what the Bucks were in, leading 2-1 in the sixth, when Philadelphia loaded the bases with no outs. Vicente Palacios relieved and got the first two batters.
2 outs.
Steve Jeltz was next.
And again, the fans bring up the volume in Three Rivers Stadium. Palacios ready from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air to left field. Backpedals near the line. He's got it. The inning is over. Palacios out of the bullpen to shut the door.
The final nails in the coffin were driven in by Mike LaValliere in the eighth.
2 pitch. LaValliere line shot right center field. An extra base hit. Bonilla scores. Green scores. Reynolds will cross the plate. Spanky's done it again. A 3-run double, and the Pirates lead the Philadelphia Phillies 5-1. Lined up with a 1-1 pitch. Bounce to the right side. This will do it. Lean to Breen. Ball game is over. The Buccos defeat the Philadelphia Phillies, and there was no doubt about it.
There was little doubt that the Pirates were on fire. With a record of 17-6 through May 1st, it was their best start in 51 years.
Pittsburgh Pirates, 1988, a team and a city that is trying to recapture the golden days. So the stage is set here in Three Rivers Stadium. The Pittsburgh Pirates, the Shockers in the National League, against the Chicago Cubs on the game of the week.
The Pirates were becoming big news. Big enough, in fact, for NBC television to return to Pittsburgh for the first time in years. And a national audience tuned in to watch the Pirates rally.
So the bases are loaded. 1 out in the 8th. It is 4-3 Chicago. Van Slyke at third. Bonilla at second and Reynolds at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Line drive, base hit into left center. In comes Van Slyke. Here comes Bonilla. The Pirates lead 5-4. The Pirates 1 out away from a big victory, albeit early in the year. For the Pirates, it would mark another bit of confidence and a parrot asking the crowd to stand up and bellow. 1-2, and this crowd on its feet. Boy, it's like the glory days have returned here. Ground ball to the hole, Belliard, a long throw. Got him. It's April on the field and October in the grandstand. That's the scene here at Three Rivers. And for Chicago, another bitter defeat.
The national scene was being drawn to the '88 Pittsburgh Pirates, who with their sensational turnaround had become baseball's big story. Grabbing most of the headlines was third baseman Bobby Bonilla, who was named Player of the Month for both April and May.
Bobby Bonilla was one of the big stories in all of baseball, beginning of the year. And, you know, to put the numbers up that he put up, it was fantastic.
Drive, deep right field. Home run. Bobby with a drive to left field. Going back is Bradley on the warning track at the wall. The ball is gone. We've got a 5-5 ball game.
And as he did last year for the first time, landing one from the left and one from the right. He's like a heavyweight. If he doesn't hit you with a left, he'll pound you with a right.
It was Bonilla's knockout punch that practically carried the Pirates through much of the first half of the season. Fans everywhere took notice and elected Bobby Bo as the National League starting third baseman in the All-Star game. Ironically, Bonilla's biggest challenge had been making the transition from the outfield to third base.
With me being a big man, I definitely have to work on my footwork. I cannot catch a ball and throw like I'm in right field.
Working Working alongside Bonilla was first base and infield coach Tommy Sant.
Okay, right there. So you didn't go charge that line, but you moved a little bit. All right, that's all. You move a little bit. Get rid of it. Babe, good forward. But it doesn't do you any good. As soon as the ball's hit, to get down, let it come to you.
That's what I do. That's why I don't get to the court.
That's when you get to the bad hop. To Bobby's credit, he's worked very hard at third, and he's improved 100%, and he's going to get a lot better yet, I believe. He fits close when you throw. Atta, babe. Yeah, I'll take 5 on that one.
Bonilla's hard work paid off early on as he sizzled at the hot corner.
Breaking ball. Bobby has it in fair territory, rights himself and throws him out. Oh boy, that's as good as you'll see right there.
But as the summer of '88 began to heat up, Bonilla's play, both in the field and at the plate, cooled off.
In fairness to him, he had a little bit of a slump, but he carried his ball club for so many days. He had an outstanding season overall.
Outstanding indeed. Bobby Bowe drove in 100 runs in '88 and set career highs in 8 offensive categories. He also broke his own Pirate record for most home runs by a switch hitter with 24, a total that tied him for second on the club with Barry Bonds. Here's the next pitch.
Bonds swings on a drive, right field, go ball, get out of here, it is gone! It's almost too good to be true. Barry Bonds with a pinch hit home run and a standing ovation for Barry.
In just his second full season in the majors, Bonds continued to blossom into one of baseball's most talented players. Barry hit .283, scored 97 runs, and hit 8 home runs, leading off the first inning.
Barry Bonds, for the 16th time in his career, has led off a first inning with a home run.
All that, despite being hampered by a knee injury sustained while making this remarkable catch in mid-June.
What a great play by Bonds. And Barry appears to be shaken up.
Still, Bonds and Bonilla together stung the opposition as Pittsburgh's version of the Killer Bees. On May 6th, Pirates President Carl Barger joined Pirate fans in mourning the loss of Pittsburgh's mayor Richard Caligiuri, whose relentless efforts helped keep the team in Pittsburgh. With his untimely death caused by the rare disease amyloidosis, the Pirates lost perhaps their biggest fan and most loyal supporter. In honor of the late mayor, the team dedicated the 1988 season to his memory. Appropriately, that night the Pirates beat the Padres, winning on Sid Bream's homer in the bottom of the 12th.
It's gone, home run, the Pirates win. And I think it's only fitting on a night when we remember a mayor who went through extra innings to keep Pirate baseball in the city of Pittsburgh, that the Bucks go 12, and they beat San Diego. The final, the Pirates 4, the Padres 1.
The dramatic homer capped off a 4 RBI performance by Sid Bream, who had battled his way back from off-season knee surgery, convincing the Pirates that number 5 was the team's number 1 first baseman. After early season challenges for the starting job, Bream again earned regular status on Jim Leyland's lineup card, and in one stretch in June shared Player of the Week honors with San Francisco's Will Clark. Bream had an even stronger season defensively, with a sparkling .995 fielding percentage, second in the league. Also contributing to the team's early season surge was R.J. Reynolds.
Fly ball into deep center field. Martinez to the warning track, to the wall, looks up, it's gone! Home run, R.J. Reynolds!
Reynolds had a number of clutch hits in key situations throughout the season. His 11 pinch hit RBIs tied him for second in the majors. In addition, he swiped 15 bases in 17 tries, and as always, showed his versatility in the field with a more than capable glove. Catcher Mike LaVallier's glove was a welcome sight for Pirate pitchers. A true student of the game, Spanky knows what it takes to keep the opposition off balance.
Mistake breaking ball hitter. I mean, every now and then they'll club or a hanging slider or, you know, a hanging curveball or something like that. So you just keep the ball down.
Strawberry running. Here's the throw. On target and in time. He's out.
Though known for his great defensive skills, LaValliere also gunned down opposing clubs with his bat, leading the team in hitting with runners in scoring position at .337. LaValliere's role became even more important when Junior Ortiz, while making a hustling play on July 27th in St. Louis, suffered a broken collarbone. The injury brought an end to a promising season for Junior, who finished the year with a .280 batting average. It was a bat that would certainly be missed in the Pirates lineup. 1988 was a banner year for Pirate pitchers. Case in point, on May 8th, Doug Drabek took a no-hitter into the 9th inning against the Padres. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. There are now 2 outs in the 8th inning.
I didn't really start thinking about it till probably the 8th inning.
Here's the 2-strike pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3.
For the 3rd out, it was Sean Abner. The fans started cheering and hit me there, and then I didn't try not to think about it in the dugout. I tried talking to people like Mike Dunn and John Smiley who were sitting next to me. I talked to them just to keep it off my mind. And then when I went out for the 9th inning, I knew that here's a chance.
Here's the pitch, ground ball up the middle. Henrique diving stop. His throw to first base not in time. He throws the ball over the head of Sid Bream. It'll be a base hit for Randy Reddy, and that breaks up the no-hitter. But Doug Drabek with a no-hitter through 8 innings here this afternoon, and he'll get a standing ovation.
It was exciting. It didn't happen, but, you know, who knows in the future.
The future sure looks bright for Doug Drabek, who won 10 of his last 12 decisions and led the staff with a career-high 15 wins. Winning came easy early in the season for Brian Fisher, who won his first 4 decisions. But a shoulder injury would soon force him onto the disabled list.
My shoulder has bothered me since the middle of May, and I feel strong one time and I feel weak the next time. And I know I would have been more of a contributor to the team, and it was real disappointing.
Despite hurting, Fisher came back and contributed some strong performances out of the bullpen. In 11 relief appearances, he was 2-0 with a 0.78 ERA.
Now, he'll get a lot of high fives for the way he pitched tonight.
After his spectacular rookie season, Mike Dunn's sophomore year proved to be frustrating.
Dunn's an excellent pitcher, and maybe there was something for him for the sophomore jinx, I don't know, but we have big plans for him. We like him a lot.
Dunn also spent nearly a month on the DL early in the season. Making big strides on the mound was 31-year-old Bob Walk, who put together his best season ever. Walk showed great command of his pitches, but it wasn't always that way.
I saw Bob Walk years ago in the minor leagues when I managed at AAA when he was pitching to Oklahoma City. I think the comparison is night and day. Bob Walk was a big, strong kid that could throw a ball through a wall, and sometimes that's where he threw it.
But Walk refined his skills under the guidance of pitching coach Ray Miller.
For the first time in life, Bob Walk stopped trying to throw every pitch so that the hitter could not make contact. Once that happens, you become a pitcher, and it's really been helpful to him and helpful to me.
And helpful to the Buccos. Walk won 12 games and earned himself a spot on the National League All-Star team.
He's a professional. He knows what it's all about. He's a tough competitor and definitely an asset to our ball club.
Fireballing John Smiley was also proving valuable to the Bucks.
Well, extra right there. How about John? Hey, 2-0, you let up and hit the outside corner because you had to throw a strike. But that last pitch was about that much quicker with no effort. And they just a little bit extra right on the end. A little bit extra right on the end. That one.
In only his first year as a starter, Smiley won 13 games and quickly became one of the league's dominant left-handers. John already had an overpowering fastball, but his key to success was the development of a changeup and a curveball, which helped keep hitters guessing wrong. Swing and a miss, strike 3. John Smiley had some very impressive outings. He one-hit the Montreal Expos on June 3rd and threw a 2-hit shutout against St. Louis on September 21st. While John may seem quiet and reserved, once he takes the mound, he turns into one of the game's most fierce competitors.
Brooks hit him, and now Brooks charges the mound. Smiley drops his glove and says, come on, and they're going at it. John Smiley and Hubie Brooks going toe-to-toe, and now everybody...
But Smiley preferred strikeouts to knockouts, leading the team in Ks with 129. And as was the case with all pitchers, Ray Miller played a key role in John's success.
Down in the strike zone right here, in and out, change speeds, give me a ground ball. Take one hit at a time from here on out. Just one hit at a time, don't worry about the base runner because we'll get you some more, okay? Let's go.
Miller's pitching philosophy is simple. Work fast, throw strikes, and change speeds. He also believes that for pitchers to perform at their best, they must be well-conditioned, both physically and mentally. Part of that preparation is the charting of pitches, recording what the Pirates throw and what the opposition hits. In addition, Miller gets information from advanced scout Dom Scala.
Just play it.
Yeah, but he's an up-the-middle hitter most of the time. You can see here, he's gonna go up the middle a lot.
And then...
Right after batting practice, I'll sit down with tonight's starting catcher and tonight's pitcher, and we'll go through the 9 people in the lineup.
Once the game begins, both Miller and Jim Leyland are in perfect sync, making certain that the pitcher, catcher, and the entire defense work together as a team.
With man on second, they're getting kind of wide out there, and he's kind of slow to the plate, so don't be afraid. You look for this. Watch me play. You come set, when he breaks, you throw. Okay? Anybody. They're all getting kind of crazy out there.
I think he's the best. I think the pitchers have total confidence in him, and he's done a great job for us.
Did we get it straight, Ray?
I think so. I hope so.